to anyone I offended in 2023. Try to improve, so I don't have to do it in 2024.
Yeah, so apparently recently this dude has somehow gotten into more drama.
Tung 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 sahur. Anomali mga...
What is up, guys? Now, in today's video, I want to talk about Shappy Sway. You know, the Twisted Kids animated guy. That's been in a little recent controversy, with literally the whole commentary community bashing him pretty much. I wanted to talk about his, crash out over the past week or 2 weeks or whatever. Before I get into this video, like, subscribe, whatever, and, let's get into this and stuff like that. So, So, very recently, since Glider Guy, Rith, and some other people have been milking the Shappy Sway situation, which I don't blame them. I milked the ZDAC and multi-SE drama a lot, but, anyways, Shappy Sway tried to, quote exposing Rith with community posts that contained links with fake exposed videos on Rith claiming he's a pred and stuff like that. Also, you know how every commentary YouTuber is just saying Shappy Sway just age restrict your content, and Shappy just ignores it and says, "Alright, our channel was tagged not for kids," which again, Shappy, that doesn't do shit. If you haven't heard the entire commentary community say this by now, setting your shit is not made for kids does not prevent kids from watching your content, which is softcore, kernel corn. So, in Rit's video covering he makes a YouTube account that is set for literally 5 years old, and he can still view your softcore corn again. Also, since Glider Guy, Rith, MKBina999 all interviewed Shappy Sway, which Glider Guy uploaded the full interview, which I was able to watch the interview early on a Spotify, which means I ended up writing this script. I ended up finishing this script before Glider Guy's video even came out. Yeah, they all interviewed him, right? I watched the full thing, and I got some things to back up on my points or whatever. For example, earlier, how I was saying he was ignoring the age restricting your content claim, blah blah blah. One, he literally even kept ignoring the question, why don't you age restrict your content? Not even, he didn't, not even lying. He ignored the question and just yapped and yapped for, about 10 minutes or something like that, and he wouldn't answer the question, just about stuff unrelated. In the interview, he literally just wouldn't answer. And two, he literally showed on his community tab him appealing an age restriction on one of his videos, which is crazy. Also, Shappy Sway decided it would be a good idea to copyright strike Rith and Glider Guy, which luckily the strike didn't go through. Let me try to break down what Shappy said in this in the copyright strike details. Shappy literally said please or whatever I'll put it up on the screen. He said that multiple times, which is probably not very professional in a fucking legal document, but anyways, he said please a lot. He tried copyright striking Glider Guy in the same strike he was sending Rith, which is not how copyright strikes work. You are supposed to send 2 separate copyright strikes if you want that done. But anyways, he claims Glider Guy and Rith were harassing Shappy Sway, which is not true. If anything, Shappy Sway was literally harassing them by sending the false strike, the comments, the false allegations, spreading stuff about that's totally not harassment, right, guys? Anyways, now, to top it all off, he literally said delete any other videos about us, which meaning if this shit went through, possibly me, Cryptic, Muth, and many of my other friends would have been cooked. And, pretty much everyone in the commentary community. Now, with 90% of the bad shit that Shappy did, the copyright strikes, community posts, comments, etc., was the Manny Show situation all over again. As I mentioned in Glider Guy's interview video with Shappy Sway earlier, Shappy Sway the owner of Shappy Sway mentioned that the co-owner has been doing all this shit. So it wasn't Shappy Sway, it wasn't Vet, I think his name was. He's the owner of Shappy Sway. So it's not really the owner's fault but like, so it's not entirely his fault, you know. The owner literally also said in the interview that he's giving the co-owner a second chance. Like, bro, how dumb do you have to be? Like, that's probably not the best decision. Considering that you were literally 90% close, like you genuinely were seriously close to being fully like exposed, fully like you nearly had your like, I bet like there was a high chance of your channel getting terminated, like for example, like because of the 4th strike. Like, I would not give this co-owner a second chance. But anyways, you know, don't get me wrong, the owner of Shabby Sway is still pretty disgusting. He literally made cheese pizza. You know, I'll put a screenshot of like the short that in the interview he kept on saying, "Oh, it's the law, you know, you gotta understand the law." And that kid, the person that looks like a kid is actually like 29. Like, what? And then they had an argument in the interview about how, like, that's not a kid. If we asked 20 random people outside, they would all say, you know, it's a kid, blah, blah, blah. And then he was also, you know, arguing, like, the whole interview, you know, like, pointing the finger a lot, as Beto said, you know, like, basically the guy was not taking responsibility or, like, accountability for anything. He just blamed, you know, he just blamed everyone, everything, or whatever. Yeah, he would, like, dodge the question a lot, say something unrelated, just yap about something random that wasn't even related. Like, for example, when they were talking about why, once you age restrict your YouTube channel, as I mentioned earlier, like, Shabby would just continuously rant about, like, his Instagram and Twitter, and he wouldn't answer the question. Another question he would keep avoiding was, like, they showed him, like, some anime character that was of age, and they were like, should this character be sexualized? And he would just dodge the question for like 10 minutes, just saying stuff unrelated, like, and just would not genuinely answer the question. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much the whole Shabby Sway Crash Out drama summarized within like 10 minutes. I mean, we're at like the 8-minute mark right now, so trust me, we'll get to 10 minutes, trust. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, then consider subscribing. It would really help me out. We are nearly at 1,000 subscribers, and when we do hit 1,000, I will face reveal. Yeah, you had it right there. Anyways, guys, that's all from me. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.